Good morning, everybody. This is Trader Steve. It's Sunday, the 22nd of June, 2025, and Trump has bombed Iran nuclear facilities. So we'll watch oil futures when they open later today and the stock futures this evening and see what happens. So last 3 weeks have just been monotonous, to say anything, just sideways. Not a whole lot of range to the indexes, and we're just going to run through the QQQ and the rest of them and kind of describe how slow it's been. But this is the Q we're looking at right here. You know, possible reversal candle last week. Again, it's almost the same candle. This market won't break. It's just with all the tariffs and what's going on. I guess there's 50% of money managers out there think things are going to be great with the tax cuts and the tariffs, and the other 50% think, you know, the world's coming to an end, like Ray Dalio. I don't know if you've watched what he put on, but, you know, the market's going to break one way or the other now, I think, and it's just a matter of let's see which way it goes. But I'm going to try and take advantage of whatever happens. So we're going to move to the SPY now. And it really looks identical almost to the QQQ. It's just been 3 weeks of sideways, not a whole lot of action, not a lot of money to be made on anything. And now we're going to the Russell. The Russell hasn't really recovered from the sell-off. And it's just kind of treading sideways too. It's going to be hurt the worst if interest rates go up. And I don't know if Trump will get Jerome to lower rates and if the bond vigilantes will allow that to happen. So it's going to be interesting the next couple weeks, couple months, and see what happens in the old bond market. Here's the diamonds. It's not looking too good either. It hasn't really gone up as much as the Qs and the SPY. And it's just treading sideways, and it's just in this tight range waiting for some news to break out. Here's the transports. You know, we had the air crash of the Boeing 787, and that kind of hurt it. And then with tariffs, a lot of truckers and shipping companies are going to be adversely affected here, and it's going to spread through the economy. So it's weak, and we'll see if it gets weaker and starts breaking down. Here's the TLT, and this is a 3-year weekly chart, and as you see, we're flirting with 3-year lows, and we'll see. You know, I doubt anything fast is going to happen here, but you just never know. You just never know with what's going to happen. But, you know, break down here where it starts making lower lows week by week. It's not going to be good. It's not going to be good at all. And here's the Dixie, you know, the dollar, and once again it's showing 3-year lows, and we'll see if it breaks down. I got an alarm set up here for 97.5, so, and if it starts breaking down below that, watch out. It's inflationary, but the other good thing, it'll be really good for exporters, but it'll take a lot of time for exporters to get built, and manufacturing to what will come back, but it's in the meantime it'll be painful. Here's gold. Gold is strong, and I guess that's telling us that it's expecting more inflation and something else to happen. So I'm waiting for gold to have kind of a sell-off, and I'm going to get back into it. Here's the semis. They kind of look like they're topping out here. You know, got some strange little candles going on. And Apple, the sickest of the big dog mega caps. You know, it's got trouble in China. It's got trouble with the president, manufacturing offshore, blah, blah, blah. And I don't think Apple's going to do too well, but it's also not like selling off. It's just going sideways. Look at this. This has been months of a sideways action here, just months. And it's a slow boat to nowhere, but something's going to break here shortly, and I think the market will start moving, and I think it will be probably to the downside, but we'll see. I'm just going to go whichever way the market goes. I really don't care. I just want it to get out of this, summer doldrum, so to speak. Here's the bidded coin, and it's sideways for about 2 months, just really going nowhere. But we did have a derivative of the Bitcoin, and that's coin. I guess Circle came out with its IPO, and everyone loved it. And there's just too many coins and stable coins, and I think eventually there's just going to be a flooded market, and things are going to go south in the old, fake currency realm here in the. But Coinbase had a really good week. It was like one of the only stocks that moved, and it ripped, and I hope somebody had that. It was really hard to get in once the news hit because it all kind of went in one day. But for those that, actually own the stock or could get into it, hey, good for you, because the only entry point was last Friday on the 13th. And this thing ripped last week, and good for whoever had it. I'm happy for you. Now, Monster, MicroStrategy, I'm sorry, not Monster, similar symbols. It's just been chopping sideways for over a month and nothing really happening with it. And now, I had an option play going on here in Salesforce. It didn't work out. I cut it, but I still have it on my radar looking for something to happen. But I have a feeling it'll go lower before it goes higher, but we'll see. And I got put 500 shares of Novo Nordisk to me. I had sold some puts in it. And then the Axe Job journalist came out with, some bad articles on it. It sold off. But I just don't understand why I didn't get put 1,000 shares instead of 500. That was weird. First time that's ever happened to me. So, I've just got it on my radar. I'm going to just be selling calls on this. And there's news coming out today on it about, maybe a pill form and some other hormone being added to the other substance it sells in the shot. And we'll see if that gets the stock to move. It's a pretty good stock. It's been sold off hard, and they got a new CEO coming in, and they got a activist hedge fund money manager, beating the drum on it. So I think things will start to turn for Novo Nordisk here. And so I'm probably going to take more of a position when it kind of finds a bottom, wherever that is. And in the meantime, just keep selling calls and lowering my cost basis on this bad boy. It pays about a 3%, and I might make it a core holding in, my portfolio, but we'll see. Got to see how things play out, see if it starts breaking down below this 58 level, or if it kind of finds a higher low somewhere in here in the 70 range and starts breaking out. But we'll see. I don't know what the bombing of Iran's going to do to the market in the next week. I do have an oil stock here, Oxy. I bought 2 last week, and Oxy, I still have 1,000 shares of this, and so we'll see if it pops good. I'd sold some options on it and lowered my cost basis, and we'll see if it pops hard. If so, I'll probably pull out of it, or maybe I'll sell some calls in the money. I just don't know. We'll just see what happens with it. And I had some Permian, but Permian doesn't have a lot of options. They got monthlies. It's kind of a tough little stock to trade. But, if you can buy it at the lows and ride it up for a few points, it's pretty good. So I sold Premium, and I'm going to get the dividend that was paid out Monday. I'll get that in my account on the 30th, I believe. And so I made $300 or $400 on it, for a quick, I don't think I was in it 48 hours. And I just didn't want to have a whole lot of oil in case, something adverse happened here. So, I just cut it, made some money. And now, as you know, my favorite trading vehicle almost of all is Tesla. And I don't know how long it'll become or stay a really good trading vehicle, but it's been in just a sideways chop here. The prior 2 weeks, we had a good downdraft on the week of 6-2 and a good couple moves on the week of 6-9. But last week, man, was like watching paint dry. Holy smokes. And so we'll see. The robo-taxi news is coming out. We'll see if, people love it or it's going to be a big dud. I just don't see robo-taxis doing a whole lot. I just think of you robo-taxi in the wrong part of some of these big cities, and all you're going to find is a vehicle that's been, all the tires will be gone, the engines will be gone, the batteries will be gone, and there will be nothing but a hole sitting there, because the organized crime will have it stripped bare. But, hey, let them try. Maybe they'll just keep it in the yuppie areas of Austin and all these other towns. But I just don't see robo-taxis working in places, especially in the wintertime, when you got ice and bad weather. I just don't see it as anything but a gimmick. Maybe where they're testing it in Austin, they don't get really horrible weather, and Phoenix, Arizona, or wherever else they have it. That doesn't snow and ice in San Francisco, but boy, does it rain. So we'll see what happens with old Tesla. There's, like I said, some really good moves in it, and it's been dead money for, last week. I mean, it was just horrible. Look at this, just sideways, no money really to be made. And so I didn't make a move in it. So we'll see what happens. And keep your eye on the futures when they open. And then tomorrow morning, we'll see what happens after the bombing of Iran. And I want everyone to have a wonderful weekend. Thanks for watching, and take care. This is Trader Steve saying see you later.